Hey guys, it's Kelsey and we're back with another Scrap 5 Hop. So November is the month I got to pick the 5 things for, so I chose a thankful sentiment, puppy stickers, a label, pocket card, or 3x4 scrap, whatever, and twine. So I really wanted it to be something that I thought everyone pretty much had these kinds of things. And maybe things that you don't use that often anymore. I don't see puppy stickers as often as I used to. I know pocket cards sometimes get stuck in your stash. And I thought the thankful theme would be perfect because it is November, so Thanksgiving is coming up. I had a slight advantage because I knew I was going to use this kit when I picked these things. I did that on purpose. So I knew I had what I needed with this kit to make up this page, but I didn't want it to be too easy. But I did know I had this thankful die cut, so automatically I knew I was going to end up using that one. I knew that there was the puffy border stickers in this kit, so I was thinking I was just going to use one of those, but I actually ended up pulling in other puffy stickers to use as well. There are a bunch of different labels in the die cut pack, so again I was like, okay, right, just gotta make sure I get one of those on there. Filthy Jane kits of course come with pocket cards, so that was a good excuse to make me use a pocket card, because sometimes I make a page and I forget to use them, and then I have all these pocket cards left over at the end of the month. And then of course twine, which was not in my collection, but I hope everyone who's playing along has some kind of twine they can get on a page. So I'm just starting with this mustard yellow. I'm using this photo of Billy. We're laying in bed with the window open. This is like mid-March, and so it was the first night that we really had warm enough weather to open the windows, and Billy and I love sleeping with the windows open whenever the weather allows. So I just have a photo at night. You can see the street lamp outside the window is shedding light through this window on Billy, and it really creates this cool like silhouette effect where you can see his fur and everything. So I really wanted to use this for this photo, especially with this yellow paper. I really thought the black and the yellow in the photo would be really cool to replicate on my page. So I'm starting out with a couple scraps here. I have a scrap of this white and black skinny stripe, which was the B-side of the linen print, which you guys saw for my Back to the Future challenge hop. So I'm going to use that running up the side, and then I have a yellow scalloped branding strip that I'm going to layer on top of that. So I'm just trying to layer up a couple vertical pieces on the right side of the page here. Because Billy is looking out the window to the left, I really wanted this photo on the right side of the page, so he's looking towards the middle of the page and not off of it. I wanted one more layer though, because I just thought it was too abrupt the way the white and black stripe ended on the mustard. So I tore some of this white and black butterfly washi, so there was more of a raw edge and it was more translucent, so it was a nice transition from these vertical scraps onto my background paper. But I love that torn edge detail. I think that adds a really cool touch. So I'm just going to stack all of this stuff, get it glued down. I just thought this was a really cool vertical way to start the page, especially because I knew my photo was going to start over there. So I was kind of building up stuff to build from. I kind of got stuck here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with my photos or how my actual photo layers are going to go. I just know I want the page, the photo on that side of the page. But there's a ton of black space on this photo. When I took it, I thought I would probably cut it down to a 4x4, which I very easily could have. But as I looked at this photo and all of the black space that's in it, I thought it would be a really cool opportunity to use that black space as just a background for things to sit on. I don't have a problem putting things on my photo, but I thought this particular photo was a chance to really like put a lot on my photo in this kind of empty space. So I'm putting this little yellow label in the upper right hand corner with one of those little puffy hearts from the Amanda collection. I just dated that little label as well. This was March 12th of this year. And then I have all of this black space on the bottom of this photo that I'm thinking I can put a title, subtitle, some kind of sentiment, maybe use that thankful card. So that's what I ended up doing. I did pop this thankful up on some foam, so there's a little bit of dimension. But there's also some die cuts. One of them said 4. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use that random word on a die cut, but then another one said a million little things. So I was like, oh, I can like put them together and say thankful for a million little things, and that would make sense. So I'm glad I got all those die cuts used up. I got 4 die cuts used up just on this photo, which I thought was nice. And then again, I just used 2 more of those little puffy hearts down there on the bottom part of the photo, just so that was balanced with the little heart I have on the top. And now I'm just trying to build out my layers a little bit. I was kind of inspired by that Back to the Future hop. I really liked the way that it had the double banners behind the photo, and it really stretched out my layers vertically. I really felt like that would be a nice way to layer this photo as well, because I already have these vertical bands running up the side of the page. So what I decided to do was take a pocket card. So I'm getting my pocket card used up here. This black and white stripe pulls in the black and white stripe that's already on the page. So I'm just cutting it into a banner and stretching it behind this photo so it looks like a big banner behind the photo. And then you can see I pulled in this black tag here, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing with this black tag. But I really liked how this stretched my layers and draws your eye vertically across the page. I'm really loving how it looks, and I like how everything's on the right side of the page here. I know I do not want to leave this whole left part of the page empty. I want to fill it with something, but for right now I think it's so cool how it's just pulling your eye up and down the right part of the page here with the way these layers are going. So I'm just trying to stack up the banners here. I knew I wanted a tag because that was an excuse for me to use twine. There were 2 tags in my die cuts, which when I first picked this, put that on my Grab 5 list, or Scrap 5 list, I thought I would be using a tag from the collection, but they were not in this color scheme. And when I picked this, I had no idea which products or papers I was going to use from this collection. And since I did go down this yellow and black and white color scheme, I had to go with a black tag from my stash. But I think it looks really cool, and I think that black tag really has a lot of impact on my photo with how bold it is. I'm looking for a couple other black things I can pull in, and I realized I have these awesome wood veneers. Christina sent these to me a couple, like ages ago, for winning one of her weekly sketches on Redefine Creative. I love playing along with her sketches, and she sent me these Dear Lizzie wood veneer, and I've kind of been hoarding them. But after last month and the way I painted a couple wood veneer to make them go on a page that the raw wood veneer would just kind of look funny, I figured, hey, you can do that again, turn one of these black, and I think that would have a really cool impact on the page as well. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just using some black acrylic ink to paint this this one that says best ever. I think that looks really cute. I really don't need it as a title or anything because I have the thankful for a million little things, but I thought it looked so cool, and I was thinking I would put it in the upper left hand corner, but I ended up kind of changing my mind. But there is like the adhesive on the back of this is kind of offset. So when I painted it, I was not painting very neat, and the paint got on the adhesive, and then it looked messy when I went to stick it down. So I'm trying to trim the adhesive here. And then I realized I could just pull off this adhesive and just glue it down like I normally would if it would veneer. So I struggle a little bit with trying to trim this up to make it look neater. And then I realized I can just peel the adhesive off and just use my own. So there we go. And as you can see, I thought about putting it in the upper left-hand corner. But I know I need more layers. Like, I really love how vertical this page looks, but it is too much open space. So I'm thinking I am going to start branching out to the left in my layers and create kind of this backwards L design. Especially because I didn't want it to look too similar to the Back to the Future layout that I did, which was very vertical, other than that folded back corner, which I thought was really fun. So I think by pulling some of these layers out horizontally, it'll make this page look a little bit different and not so much similar to that other page I've already done this month. I did have to go back though, because since I did paint this so messily the first time, some of the edges were painted black and some of them weren't, and so I decided to go back and paint every single edge you could see black, just so there was no raw wood veneer showing. At first I was just going to paint the top of them, and it didn't really matter to me if the sides were still raw. But because I did it so messily, I went back and just did it all black, and I think it looks a lot nicer all black. It just took some more time, so that's why I'm going back and painting again. But I love altering wood veneer like this. I love the way raw wood veneer looks, but this is such a cool look, and you can really customize your wood veneer to fit the colors of your page this way. So, and I think the black, painting them black always adds such a bold, fun pop to your page. So because I'm already using pops of black with this black tag and everything, I just thought it was perfect. So let's see. I think I'm almost done here. I'm trying to remember what I do next. I do know I build some layers out to the left here, but I'm not quite sure when I do that. I think I'm going to end up gutting this mustard because there's a huge vertical chunk there that's being hidden by these layers. So I'm going to go ahead and gut just a little vertical scrap that's behind these layers so I can use it on another page. I love this mustard. I want this mustard to be available if I want to use it on another page. But the B side of this page is those really sweet black and white doodly rainbows. And as soon as I flipped over this scrap and saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cute. I kind of want to use that on this page as well. It's another black and white pattern, so it's in my color scheme. I'm going to patch this hole really quick with a scrap piece of black paper just so there's not, you know, a hole when I try to glue all these layers down. But after I saw the back side of that scrap, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use that. And it was like the perfect size for branching out horizontally. So after I glued on these layers, I'll kind of decide to do that. But after I got that scrap and saw the size it was, I was like, okay, well, that's kind of like the perfect size to put this wood veneer best ever down on. So I'm thinking I'm going to branch this out, have this scrap branching out horizontally from these banners, and then have this best ever sitting on it because spatially it just worked out so perfect, and I thought that looked really nice. It is kind of weird to my eye. I don't know if it bothers you guys, but it is weird to me that I have this best ever right next to the thankful for a million little things, but really it's not going to bother me. I was like, it kind of looks funky, but like that's where I want it, so that's where it's going to go. But they're just kind of like title and subtitle, I guess, so I'm cool with it. Because I am branching out this vertically or horizontally though, I did want to pull this torn washi into another area as well, just so that looks balanced. I think having just this torn butterfly washi on the right side would have looked a little weird and like it didn't go if I didn't incorporate that somewhere else. So having it as another horizontal layer underneath this little rainbow paper I thought was really nice, and it just balanced the washi perfect and brought that texture in somewhere else. So now I'm going to glue down this little rainbow bit, and then you can see me, I will glue down my little best ever, and then I'm pretty happy with that as far as branching out horizontally. I think that fills out that space enough, but leaves it open like I liked originally. So it was a nice little compromise. I'm just going to clean up some of the stuff here that I know I'm not going to use now. I kind of am always more liberal when I lay out things I might use on a page, even if I'm like, I really don't think I'll use it. I'll usually be like, if it's in the color scheme, just lay it out and maybe you'll surprise yourself, and you will. But now I'm farther along the page. I definitely want to keep this monochromatic, so I threw everything that was a different color away back into my little container. And then I pulled out these little puffy border strips. I already have my puffy stickers accounted for because I used these cute little yellow puffy hearts. But I really did put that on this list to challenge myself to get one of these banners on the page. So I didn't really want to eke out by just using these little puffy hearts. So I really did want to make sure I got one of these banners used up because they give you a lot in this kit, and there's no way I'm going to use them all this month. I don't think I will. At least I'll be really impressed if I do, but I really don't think it's going to happen. But I do at least want to use one per page. So I've been doing pretty good this month on getting one used up a page. There might be like one layout I didn't use one on. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look, but I did pull them out to make sure I used one. And then I went back because I thought it was really cool how I had the painted wood veneer. I just wanted one more detail that was the same painted wood veneer on the other side of the page, just so that texture and dimension was balanced as well. And there's this cute little star, so I thought that would be a nice thing, especially because it's at night. I know I already have hearts on the page, but I thought this one wood veneer star would be really cute. And there's this little open spot at the top of that black tag that it would fit perfectly. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that little black wood veneer star up there when it's dry, and that'll help balance the wood veneer as well. But yeah, I decided to go with just the black and white puffy heart banner. I thought that was really cute, and it brought some white up there. I didn't really want anything too heavy. Usually when I have these bold pops of black, I would like a bold pop of black in every area. So I was thinking about doing something kind of bolder up in this upper left-hand corner, but because, I don't know, in this certain scenario, I really liked how the focus was on this vertical area where the photo is, and I didn't want to detract from it too much, but I did want to do some journaling. So I do like that the black and white puffy heart border strip draws your attention up there to the journaling so you don't overlook it, but I kind of like that there's not something big black and bold over there. So I'm just doing my journaling really quick. I actually journaled more than I thought I would on this page, but I really wanted to make sure I explained why I'm thankful for this photo because it's kind of random when you just look at it. So I just say we have two favorite times of year. The first is the beginning of fall when the weather starts to get cool after the hot and humid summer. The second is the start of spring when it first gets warmer after the frigid cold of winter. What did I even say? I can't read it. You can bet the first glimpse of those temps that our windows are open. Billy loves it as well, so he can watch the neighbors from the comfort of our bed, March 2020. So I thought that kind of explained it well. It also explained why I'm thankful for this photo and kind of documented that. I don't think that's something I've really documented in scrapbooking, like favorite weather or the fact that we even do this. So I think that'll be cool to remember. And I just think it's a cool photo with the way the street lamp is bouncing off of Billy. So it just takes me a minute. I was being lazy. I don't know why I didn't want to use my washi trick, but I just took some clear packaging as my guide to make sure my lines were straight. And so I'm just getting all of that written down. But I need to get the wood veneer star down after that's dry. I think I'm just waiting for it to dry right now. I didn't even mention this really cool vertical arrow die cut Jennifer sent me, and I think it looks so cool. I've been holding on to a couple little bits that she has sent me. I think this is my last little arrow bit, but again, I think that pop of black is really cool. I think it helps balance the boldness of the black tag. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that as well, that other horizontal bit. And then I thought about doing Nuvo drops, but I've had these really cool little plastic water droplet embellishments that I got from Redefine Creative next to my desk. I love them. I think they look so cool. They just look like little water droplets. And I thought it would be a fun twist to use those instead of an Nuvo drops. I could have used white or black Nuvo drops, but I thought there was already enough black and white Nuvo drops that it might be a cool twist to do this with little water droplets instead. So I'm just creating a visual triangle with these clusters and doing little clusters of 3. And I'm going to glue this down with my Tombow Mono multi-glue. I did realize in the past when I said I used this and they fell off, I actually didn't use the Tombow Mono Multi. I thought I did, but I used, excuse me, a clear glue because these are translucent. So I wanted to make sure I was using a clear glue. Sorry, I just woke up like a frog in my throat. I wanted to use a clear glue, that way when it dried you could still see through them clearly. So I didn't use Tombow Mono Multi because sometimes that can look, yellow or white when it dries. But with the clear glue, these things were falling off. So I used Tombow Mono Multi and actually did dry clear. Didn't dry the color that I usually see it dry. So that was nice. And these things seem like they're stuck on. They're not coming off now. So I'm glad I have the Tombow Mono Multi to use. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will link everyone else who's playing with Scrap 5 in the description if you want to see them use these 5 things. If you want to use them yourself, please tag us on Instagram at Scrap 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.